Hello my flowers and welcome back to my page Messages from Venus, and this is a tarot deck review of the fantastic Menengari tarot deck. And this deck is completely out of print. You guys can probably find it on eBay or Amazon here and there once in a blue moon, but the price is absolutely ridiculous. Like, let me see if I can show you guys on eBay. Let's see, the fantastic Menengari tarot. I know a lot of people obsess over come on, I misspelled this. Obsess a lot over obtaining out of print decks, but you kind of have to be realistic with some of these decks. Look, it's not even on eBay. Let's see, let me look at Amazon. You kind of have to be realistic when it comes to searching for out of print decks. Look, the book, it goes for like $1,000. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the book or the paperback goes for $995 with 51 cents. Ooh, why are these naked people on here? Let me just open this. Yeah, I think that this does not bring the actual cards. I think it's just the book. Or maybe not, but it just seems like the way that they're marketing this stuff on here, like the paperback, this one is going for $500. They only have 2 left and they're both used. This one is going for $995. This one is used. This one says deck and it's currently unavailable. So you guys can check on the internet, y'all, and you will see that not a lot of people are selling this deck because it's totally and completely out of print. I'm not quite sure if this deck will ever come back to print, because it's just absolutely stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, so these are the backs, which is not my favorite back, but at least it has the ability to give you a reversal meaning, but it's not my favorite back. I think they could have done a little bit better according to myself and according to the amount of energy that this deck has. This deck has a very old soul, an interdimensional soul where animals are in control, where they have human characteristics. It is a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. And it's very old school, very 1930s, 1920 type of a feel to it, but it's all animals. And it's like, it's no other deck has this type of illustration. The guidebook is very well written. You can tell the person is very, very well versed when it comes to the English language. I'm not quite sure if they translated the book for them or anything like that, but it's beautiful. It has all sorts of different kinds of animals. It's not just like cats, dogs. It's all sorts of animals given human characteristics. It has children as well. Page of Coins. Let's see, like a younger child. It has an old but funny feel to it. It's a deck that you can use for any reading. And even the cards that are sad in some way, shape, or form, like, let me look for a sad card. Let me see. Like the 8 of Cups is a sad card, but look, it's just one person leaving the other or walking away from another. Like the Three of Swords is not so in your face, heartache, heartburn at all. I'm trying to see if I can find like the Tower. Give me just a minute, you guys. I just want to see. Okay, here we go. Okay, so look at the Tower. The Tower is not even all that bad either. So if you can get your hands on this deck, please do so. However, it's probably not going to be likely that you do. There are some people that don't like the artwork, that they have decks or have multiple copies of this deck just so that the deck can raise the value. Time raises the value of certain decks when they're out of print, and then they can sell them off. So maybe you can find something like that, but know that you will be looking at more than $500 for one deck. So you have to have a certain amount of budget for those of you that are collectors to be able to obtain a deck such as this one. See, look at this. This is like the most beautiful star card ever. I have not found a companion for this deck because I feel like let me see, what's the name of that deck who's also out of print, but it's not as bad as this one. It's not as expensive. I'm looking to pair it with the Victorian Flower Oracle, even though it's kind of a little whitewashed because it doesn't have like people of color, but I feel like this deck is calling to be paired with that deck. It has kind of like the similar artwork, even though humans are wearing their own clothes. I just feel a very, very big attraction to that deck. It is a much older deck, so therefore I don't put so much pressure on the older decks when it comes to like whitewashed or diversity, because I can tell that even though, I mean, there's no excuse for decks to be whitewashed, whether they were created back in the early 1990s or now, but I feel like that deck was meant to have a Victorian feel to it. I just feel like they should have incorporated, let me see if I can find a picture. I just feel like they should have incorporated more people of color, because white people weren't the only rich people. White people weren't the only people with money. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's just white people. See some of the depictions. I don't know. So I just feel like that deck is something that it's a deck that's gonna go very well with this deck. I have not found a deck that it will vibe with. It's just alone. I use other decks to give people readings, but I do not pair this deck with any other deck. Again, it's a very expensive deck. The card stock is not all that great. For those of you that need to know, it's not all that great. If you get water on this, it's over. This deck I bought it supposedly new, but I had taken it to work one day, like 2 years ago, and it rained so much, and so it gave it like an older, even older feel. So I was very pissed off about that, and it's like one of those things that I just don't take my decks out like I used to anymore, not even to read out in the park or anything like that, because I cherish my decks, I love my decks, and I work very hard to maintain my collection. And when I purchased this deck was nowhere near $500. Like, you could still find this deck for like $200, $250, $300. Like, it wouldn't pass over $350. Like 2 years ago, I remember seeing the listings, and not many of them were $500. So now it's a little bit more ridiculous. The deck has gone up in value, but it's a beautiful story. Again, the deck does resonate with the Rider-Waite-Smith, and it tells a story about a community of animals that have human characteristics and that live together and cannot survive without one another. It's a story of survival is what this deck talks to me about. Look how beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and that my review did this deck justice, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.